my other planet here, Venus. Venus is going to enter that same day. Let me remove this chart. Venus is going to enter Sagittarius. Okay, it's going to enter Sagittarius on the same day of the 17th while we have the full moon, just so you know. Now, when it first enters Sagittarius, oh, wait, hold on 1 second. Alexa, stop. I have to baste my brisket, you guys. I am making a brisket and it is slow cooking and it takes 12 hours to slow cook, but I feel like it's going to take 5 hours. We'll see. It is a 6 pound brisket. I don't even eat beef, but it's for my family. Anyway, okay. So 0 degrees, just so you know, very potent energy. So this first day on the 17th and 18th, you're going to really be seeing these themes and it's going to be very intense, okay? Because that's what the 0 degrees brings, okay? First of all, Venus is all about love, relationships, beauty, aesthetic. It's what you value. It's dealing with material wealth, okay? You're talking about finances, luxuries, what you invest in, things that bring you pleasure, like all the senses. You're talking about perfumes, right? That is like a very Venus energy, and food and touch and smell. I said smell, sensuality, right? Physical desires, sexual expressions, okay? Comfort, fine food, music, any sensory experience is what it's about. And it's about indulging in those things. And it's about harmony and balance and law. And it's about social connections and friendships. Venus is going to be the theme of the party. Okay. So whenever you're having a party, look at the Venus sign, look where it is in the sky, the aspects, or listen to me and I'll tell you what Venus is doing that week, and that can help you plan a great party. Okay. Venus is also about attraction and charm and being very diplomatic and cooperating. That's why it is one of the planets dealing with law. Now it's in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is about law too. It's about a venture, exploration, being optimistic, positivity, love of learning and philosophy. It's about freedom and being independent, honesty and direction, enthusiasm, being very passionate about something. There's very broadness, very broad mind, openness kind of energy. We're having trouble with X. There may be an issue on X. Okay, so I guess we'll remove X. Should we move? X, I guess, is having problems. Okay. All right. Sorry, X. Oh, and it looks like people were watching on X. Anyway, yes, I wonder if I can put X back on. Let's see if I can. Can X come back on? Okay. Now X, I guess, is, oh, no. X for some reason not working. Okay, anyway, sorry about that if you are still watching. Okay, so now Jupiter, not Jupiter, Sagittarius is also being very open-mindedness. Okay, it's very broad, it's going to expand. You're talking about cultures, the world, diversity. It's a higher level of expansion. Okay, now it's also not just about expansion but spirituality and the higher meaning of life and what's your purpose of life. And it's very risk taking, it's very adventurous. Okay, and now Venus is in that planet of adventure. Venus is in that planet of freedom. Venus is in that planet of higher meaning and expansion. Oh, Sagittarius is very generous too. It cares about the collective, it cares about the world, and that's why it's also dealing with law. So you have Venus, which is dealing with law, along with Sagittarius, which is dealing with law. So two planets that are all about law. Okay, just so you know. So the key themes of Venus in Sagittarius is that you're going to have desire for freedom and adventure, maybe in within a relationship. Maybe you want to be in a relationship that expands your mind, and it doesn't have to just be a love relationship. This could be a friendship, a partnership, but you want to expand, or maybe you want to travel or see different cultures. It also is about being open-mindedness, right? So deep conversations and shared beliefs and exploring ideas and mental spirituality at a party. This could all be discussing and maybe having new perspectives on things. Okay, very optimistic, positive in love and expansion, especially if you are dealing with relationships, especially when you are trying to find comfort. You're more willing to try new things with Venus and Sagittarius. Okay, now Sagittarius energy is very truthful and honest. So Venus in Sagittarius is going to seek the truth. It's going to be very authentic. So there's going to be a quest for truth, authenticity, transparency, and a genuine energy for being straightforward and being open and being honest. Okay. People will be expressing their true feelings for someone, or being honest and saying, like, I really, really enjoy this friendship, or you know what this friendship needs to work on. Get ready for Venus and Sagittarius, okay? Also, but it's very diverse energy. So partying with people who you never partied with, from different backgrounds or different people who had different beliefs. That is what this experience is. Meeting people from different areas of life and exploring new cultural experiences and alternative lifestyle too. Now, it's very non-committal. So Venus in Sagittarius is like, what? I need my space. Okay. So we don't need to do everything together. So if you're a couple that does laundry together or go runs an errand together, maybe you guys want your space with this Venus in Sagittarius. Okay. But if you're in a new relationship, or if you're not in a new relationship, want to be, this energy is going to make people not want to settle down. Okay. It's like, I want to be flexible. Why are we putting a label on anything? That energy can happen. Okay. But it's very generous, it's very warm. It's very caring. It's very sharing. Okay. Also very spontaneous energy of affection. Okay. Now, how can you make the most of Venus in Sagittarius? You can try new experiences, explore new places, meet new people, broaden your horizons. It's a time for honesty and being open. Okay. So be really authentic and be direct, but it's okay, because these are your true thoughts and your true desires, and you want to be honest about things. Okay. It's at the same time very positive and optimistic. There's gratitude, there is a hopeful outlook, and very spontaneous moments. At the same time, you could probably overcommit to parties. Be aware of that. But it's very respectful with independence, or be respectful with your independent. Okay. Say that you want your freedom, and maybe if you're clingy, this is really great because it helps you release that clinginess. But you can say, let's try something new and try to do something on our own without being so enmeshed. This is the energy to do it. Okay. Celebrate diversity again. So this is usually around this time, Venus. And my daughter is a Girl Scout. Both of my daughters were Girl Scouts, and there's always World Day. It's called something World Day. But usually this happens around Venus and Sagittarius, just so you know, when people have those cultural world activities. Let me know if you join one during this. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about the week, not the week. I'm going to talk about Venus and how it's going to hit all these planets while it's in the sign Sagittarius. Let me bring up the planets real quick. Okay. When it's in the planet, when Venus is in the planet, when Venus is in a sign Sagittarius, okay, October 22nd, and I won't, I'll actually just say it because sometimes I get confused when I have to press the buttons. Anyway, but October 22nd, Venus is going to, where are my notes? Why is it not up here? Oh, the nodes. I didn't put the nodes back. I'm like, what? Why don't I see it hitting anything? Okay, here we go. So Venus is going to trine the North Node, which is going to sextile the South Node. And when you have Venus in a relationship to anything dealing with the nodes, you're talking about your fate and your future and what you need to release. Okay, so there is an alignment with you socially or what you naturally attract that's going to help you with your future and with your purpose in life. Okay, now on the 27th, Venus is going to square Saturn, and when you have it squaring Saturn, challenges here, okay? Emotional intimacy, financial stability here too, okay? Yeah, so the person who wants to party is like being restricted from some sort, and you cannot see why. And this is something that is being redone or repeated over and over and over. Okay. So just be aware of that. This Saturn square is dealing with limitations, okay? And it could be dealing with limitations of you really expanding. Now on November 3rd, we have Venus is going to oppose Jupiter and Jupiter is in the sign Gemini and it's retrograding. So things that you naturally attract, the words are not being said correctly. This is really optimism or optimistic behavior, and maybe it's too optimistic. This may not be bad though. You could be overcommitting, but there is this energy of two great planets that are very positive and are not seeing eye to eye. Could be indulgent, could be a desire for excessiveness. So just be aware of that. Okay. Now on the 7th, then Venus will be quincunx Uranus. So this is something new that's quite different, and it's making you feel uncomfortable when it comes to your relationships or a partnership. And it wants to break free from the normal routine, or it wants to adapt, and it's very spontaneous, and it wants to be independent. And you're like, I'm not ready for the freedom. So be aware of that, and it's going to make a discomfort of some sort. And then on the 9th, Venus will square Neptune. And when you have Venus squaring Neptune, there is some blurred boundaries, confusion, illusions, maybe in relationships. Maybe there's escapism and you don't want to deal with the relationship. There's deception of some sort of kind when it comes to your boundary, not when it comes to your boundaries, but when it comes to your relationships and boundaries, when it comes to love of some sort. Okay. Now, Venus on the 11th will then enter the sign Capricorn. Before it enters Capricorn, we will have this intense energy of all the honesty coming out of you really expanding, or you really wanting your freedom within a relationship. It will be like, I have to hurry up and get this intense energy out of me before on the 11th it really goes into the sign Capricorn. And when it gets into Capricorn, it's committed, it's back to being practical. Okay. So complete opposite, and it's thinking long term. It's not just like, here, let's have fun kind of energy. So yeah, that is what we have with Venus and the dates of Venus in a sign Capricorn. And then lastly, on the 21st, which is very